Hey, and a good morning, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by, joining me once again. Yes, it's May 1st. Can you believe it? April just flew by. We're into May. Hopefully, we're going to see some spring weather here. It's just not been that nice. 40s, windy, rain, 50s maybe, but it's supposed to be a nice weekend. We hope that holds true. Big thank you guys for all the orders. Just overwhelming the support we're seeing during, these crazy times, and they are crazy times. I urge everyone to continue with the social distancing, the current guidelines for your particular state. I know some states are opening things back up. Hopefully we're on the downside of this thing. I told you it would only be a few more weeks, but I got to throw a big thank you out to all the essential workers out there. If you're a nurse, a doctor, first responders, all these people that are on the front lines of this are true heroes in my opinion. I thank people I see that I know are in the profession, that are nurses, and I urge you to do the same. And just people that, continue to work. These are kind of scary times, but I thank the girls. I stop at my to get my Joe in the morning. Okay, I think those people are extremely brave just to be working in this environment. And I have to say, Vermont, very low case count, but I think that's only due to the strict guidelines that our governor has put in place. And I don't agree with all of them, but I think everything that's being done is for the better of the our state and our country, so the world for that matter. Just hang in there, guys. Keep up the guidelines for your particular state, and I think we're all going to come out of this a-okay. But again, thank you to all the essential workers. All right, if I owe you an email, you are going to get it today. And yes, I've just been swamped since, this whole thing went down. We've got some people working remotely. I've been working a little bit remotely between my home and office. Everybody here is safe. We are fortunate that our facility is set up so that we can easily comply with the current guidelines for the state of Vermont, but also keep everybody safe. We're sanitizing 4 or 5 times a day. We're doing everything possible to keep ourselves safe so that we can serve you and ship all those orders that you guys are sending in. So again, thank you. Okay, I got a bunch to cover, and I'm going to try to rifle through here. I got to keep it a certain time frame, I've had a bunch of questions about how has COVID-19 affected shipments coming out of China. Most of you guys know 95% of this stuff is being produced in China. And yes, by all means, it definitely has affected, production. A lot of the factories, I know our factories that we work with, some were down as low as like 35, 40% workforce. So obviously you can't put out, that kind of production when you only have less than half your force. But most of these factories have told us they're ramped back up. They're at 100%. But that lull, that was about a month. They were not operating at full levels. So by all means, I'm sure, Spark or CMC, I know I've heard from some of these companies that, yes, we definitely, our schedules are now screwed up for the rest of the year because we lost a lot of time. Some I've heard. The packaging, the models are done, but the packaging is being held up because the factory that makes the packaging is in a different area. But I have to say, I'm actually surprised how quickly it came back online, and how these companies responded. For something that's a worldwide pandemic, I got to say a big hats off to them for getting things back online. And, we're going to see probably little lulls here and there, but I'm sure once we get into the summer months, we should be back to normalcy, whatever that's going to look like, Okay, this is one I've been getting a lot. Like yesterday, I have a customer. I got this model. I just don't like it. Will you send me a return label so I can send it back? No, we won't send you a return label. Most of you guys know those things are extremely expensive, okay? For us to send you a return label or have to send another model with a return label. Extremely expensive, cuts into a huge amount of the whatever, the profit we made from that particular model. Sometimes it erases that. Okay, so we send return labels for two things: damaged shipments and defective models. Okay, if you get a model and you don't like it, sure, we'll take it back and give you full credit, but that doesn't mean that we are liable to get that model back. That's on you. And I just, and this goes back to one of my previous videos about, Amazon and eBay, where you can just click of the button, I want to return this, and we have to pay for it. Well, that's Amazon and eBay. This is Replicars.com. So, and I can't imagine any small business that is in a position to just send out, return labels anytime, for any reason. Oh, sure. Here's $20. Send that back to us. Okay. That's just not how it goes. Damaged and defective, by all means, we'll take anything back. Okay. But that's at your expense. Well, I should say within 30 days of purchase. But that's just, I think there's some misconception there that it doesn't matter why I want to return a model, but it's on you to help me get it back. And that's, reality 101. Okay. And I had this one, a new collector. Okay. And it's great to see new guys coming into the hobby because, I talk to a lot of you guys very often about, the state of the industry, the state of the hobby. Are there enough new collectors coming in to, there probably isn't, but when we see it, it's awesome. But this gentleman asked me, what do I need as a new collector? What do I need? And, he might have been a little stunned by this, but I said, well, there's two things. The first thing you need is patience, okay? Because most of these model manufacturers now, when you pre-order, they don't give out delivery dates or tentative, shipping schedules, things like that. They announce models. We all sit back and wait patiently for them to make those models, okay? And if you buy Spark, Mini Champs, CMC sometimes, that's just how it is now. This is the new norm, okay? So the first thing you need is patience. The second thing you need is a tube of super glue, okay? When you get a model, like I had a couple this week, guys, oh my God, I got my model and the mirror had fallen off. Or, these are really easy fixes. One little spot of super glue, take that mirror, just hold it back in place for maybe 15, 20 seconds. Voila, it's fixed. You just avoided an expensive return for both of us. But it's just, and I get it, guys, when you buy a CMC and you spent $500, yes, we don't expect you to, have to do something to fix a model. But, I had one last week. The wheel spinner had come off a CMC model. Nothing was wrong with it. All he had to do was basically thread the wheel spinner back on because those they are threaded. They come off just like the real car. And he was put off by that. He wanted to send it back. He wanted us to turn the spinner back on. Okay, well, that's pretty extreme, but I'm just saying, there's a lot of little things that we could do to avoid returns and, patience, super glue. I'm going to leave it at that. All right. Okay, announcements this week. Homepage, Replicars.com. Go down the left, look for announcements, and it's sorted by week. This week, okay, these are order sheets that we got from the various manufacturers. I think there's 75 in there. There's 3 pages of new models that were just announced. For you guys that do, like GP classics, we're back online with GP replicas. We've got a long list of overdue models that are either in production, reproduction, or we do have a shipment on the way. Some of those are going to be moved to coming soon, probably today or Monday. But also, I've had a ton of requests for the GP Replicas 1/43 scale series. I haven't seen the models. Of course, I'm going to review a few here, but the pictures I've seen, they are phenomenal. A lot of the classic, mid 80s, 70s Ferraris, some great subject matter. Check those out in announcements. There's also Kyosho is back with die-cast metal opening features of these are all Rolls-Royce. I don't know the specific names or years, but I know they're in there. 2020 Spark Formula One. That is if we ever have a season. The 2020s are in there. Also, 143rd TSM, they've announced some of the Cobra 427. I know there's a Ken Miles Sebring class winner in there. Also, you guys, I've had a ton of requests for the Corvette, the new C8, and TSM has announced 2 new colors in 143rd. The 118th guys, they're getting it from TSM. GT Spirit has announced that they're doing it, but you 43rd scale guys, if you're looking for the new C8, it's in announcements by TSM. Okay, new this week, light week, 3 new Indy 2020 Indy by Greenlight. It's Pagano, Hunter Ray, and Will Power. And I was checking one of these things out. This is the new, you know, they have the canopy. And I tell you what, guys, I think this year they went up to $69. For modern day Indy, you can't beat these. They are die-cast metal. Just superb, you know, for that kind of money. You don't get much in the 1/18th scale world, but these, all 3 will be in the new 1/18th this week. Speaking of Kyosho, okay, look at this bad boy. Okay, I didn't take one out. The very cool packaging, by the way. 91 Le Mans winner, 787B, 1/12 scale. And I did look at one of these yesterday. Really nice. It is resin sealed body. But the paint, decoration, lines of the car, if you do Le Mans winners in 1/12, I think one of these is making its way right into my cabinet. But really, really nice stuff. $3.99, a good price, and I don't believe anybody has ever done it in 1/12 scale. Great to see Kyosho back online. For a while there, I was getting worried. You know, not a lot of new releases, which is really not a good sign in this hobby, but they're coming back with some brand new castings on the Rolls-Royce 118th I just mentioned, but 1/12, 91 Le Mans winner, cool packaging. Check that out in new this week. Replicars.com, upper left, sorted by date, sorted by scale. You guys know what to do. Okay, I totally dropped the ball last week. I talked about this, okay, the red cheetah, and then completely bubbled it and never had Mary, Katha, anybody set it up. So it is set up. It's in 1/18 sports cars. And I do know, based on, I did a post on Instagram earlier this week, Gary Cove never drove the car when it was number 8. So that will be adjusted. I believe it was actually Alan Grant, and it was a race winner. It's not coming to me right now, but it is in 1/18 sports cars, and this is also going to live in announcements as well. Check that out. Get those pre-orders in. Okay, back here, I had several guys say to me, what is that big Lotus back there? Okay, that is the Automodello 67 Lotus 49 Jim Clark. It's been sold out for years. It's one of my favorites, and it sits out in our reception area along with some of our models, and it's just one that I never get sick of looking at it. And unfortunately, guys, those of you that have inquired, it's no longer available. But I would say hit up eBay, and you know, I'm sure somewhere out there there's still a few floating around. But I still, it tells you we've had it now for almost a month. The Gurney Eagle 67 Spa winner. Same, 1/12 by Automodello. I'm hoping to get one of those out because there is one down there with my name on it. That's going right in my collection. But we still have some of these left. This is the signed certificate by Dan Gurney that you can find in Automodello. Go to our diecast brands by alphabetical order. Just go to Automodello, 1/12. You'll find it in there. eBay. I've had a lot of questions. Are you guys still buying collections? Absolutely, we're buying collections. Nothing is off the table. One model, 10,000. It's everything's there. Brian, BRIAN at Replicars.com. Hit me up, Mark, MARK, at Replicars.com. We have a very easy Word document that we can email to you, and it explains the entire process. We can't make it any easier. And make sure you check us out on eBay. If you're looking for those long sold out, something that's no longer available, Replicars.com, right in the middle of the page, click on the eBay icon, go to our store, rare and hard to find categories down the left. That's where you should always start, because that's where we put the juicy nuggets. Yes. Get in on the action. Bid to win. That's it. My story. I'm sticking to it. I'm going to leave it at that. And you can hit us up at BM Investments. I got to throw a plug for me and Brian. We actually have our own eBay store where it could be our own collection. It could be a collection that we bought personally and we're reselling. But Replicars is on replicars.com. But you can also hit up, search by seller, BM Investments. Okay. I think that's going to do it. Again, big thank you to all the essential workers out there. Big thank you to all of our friends and customers for all the business support. It's been truly heartwarming, and it's a great feeling to know, even in tough times, we have such a great customer base that supports us day in, day out. It's awesome, guys. Thank you so much. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, like this video, or if you're this guy, I gotta throw it in there. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, Mark's blog. There's a link right on the homepage at replicars.com. Again, thank you so much for the support. We appreciate it. I hope everybody has a good weekend, and I'll catch you guys next week.